Zambia Blog Talk Radio.
You're on mute.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Saturday, September the 25th, and we do thank you for joining us, like always. And we just wanted to encourage all of you, encourage a friend, tag a friend, and let our colleagues know that the show is on. And we're about to have an interesting discussion with an entrepreneur who is not in Lusaka. Roger, how is Canada today?
Canada COVID situation is out of hand.
Oh, is that where the situation is now?
Yeah, 25th of October. If you don't have a vaccine, you can't work, you can't go to the store.
Oh my goodness, that is serious. So basically the country is back on lockdown.
Our better is the kind of Texas, the kind of behavior. So when everyone else was doing the right things, they were not doing what they were supposed to do.
They were not following.
Yeah. So our friend seems the mic to be working. That's good.
Okay, that's good. Hi, Mangaliso. I don't think you can hear me.
Hello, Mangaliso. Can you hear us?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, good.
Good. Well, welcome to the show.
Hello. It's still. I can. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
we can hear you. All right, excellent.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Am I clear? I know my microphone is giving problems.
Yeah, you are clear. If it persists, just turn off your video and on your voice. If this persists,
voice,
yeah.
Because there's a little delay.
There's a little delay, but it's okay. At least we can hear you.
Yes. Now, before we begin our discussion with Mangaliso, we just wanted to share this with you all and just encourage you that we did do a ticket offer for people to go and listen to Professor Lumumba's keynote speech at Eden University. That's right, Roger?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. So we wanted to show you the two winners, that this was not just a scam or whatever scheming. These are the two winners. They got the tickets and they took pictures with the tickets. We'll be doing more of these just to encourage you to get involved and to participate. There are bigger prizes even coming. We have a 10,000 kwacha reward coming up soon. So
for an entrepreneur. For an entrepreneur idea, someone with a good idea.
I like that. Somebody with an entrepreneur idea, right?
Oh, Mr. Chihana will like that idea too.
Yeah, excuse me. So that's what we're trying to do. Mangaliso is the CEO and the founder of Uchile Investments out there in Eastern Province. And we would like to learn from him a few things, how he got started. Because Roger, I believe, with what we are calling the New Dawn government, okay, I'm sure it's going to come up. The New Dawn government. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I told this person, I said, you see, what we fail to understand is that the multinational corporations, the big companies, whatever name you want to put on them, they have their place in the economy. But what really drives nations' economies, what people do not understand, what drives the economy of countries like the US Canada, all these, it's this what do you call it? The small business owners, the in between.
Roger Plumbing Company, Roger Electrical Company, Roger Sewerage Company. Those are the ones which run the economy.
Those are the people those are the business line, or the size of businesses that drive and run economies of countries. So in the next series, until about close to independence, I'm working on doing. We always do special independence features. I'm working on some a show, trying to get somebody from the Kaunda family to come and talk to us about growing up as a Kaunda. How was it? So look out for that show. So meanwhile, between beginning today and October 23rd, we are going to try to
let's try that.
To try to talk to small business entrepreneurs like Mangaliso. Hi, Mangaliso.
Hey.
Okay, that's much better. Let's just do it that way. It's all right.
One better now?
Much better. Much better.
Awesome. Okay.
All right.
To change
Excellent.
devices.
Exactly. Let's begin by talking about how all this began for you. You went to Zikas and did the computing and information system. Let's begin from there. Why that choice of career study?
Okay, great. So when I first went to do information technology at Zikas, this was as a result of our keen interest in the new wave of technology that was taking over the world.
Yes.
So at that particular time, I realized that the future was actually tech related, and it being tech related meant that if you early join us to it, we're actually going to be part of having a say of what the future holds in terms of the SEM. So that's why I went to do IT at Zikas.
Okay.
So that has also translated into
So when you graduated, you worked for a bank. Talk about which bank you were working for and what you did there.
All right. So after I graduated, I started working for EcoBank Zambia. I was in electronic banking at the time. So that entailed that I was in charge of rolling out all new banking products to the rest of the country. And as that happened, it exposed me to a lot of different ventures as a result.
Okay, let's talk about what is electronic banking. Help me, a Mufulira person, understand that.
Yeah, so with electronic banking, it simply means people can do everything they want without physically moving into the bank from the comfort of either their phone or their computer or whatever device, as long as it connects to the internet. They would have access and actually do almost every form of banking. So it was a fresh market at the time, and I was one of the people that was spearheading the rollout here in the country. So that was the main.
Not just for EcoBank, but the whole country.
Pardon?
You were not just doing it for the bank you were working for, but for the whole country, right?
Yeah, I was actually rolling the products for the whole country. I was in charge of the whole EcoBank electronic banking platform.
So how is that? Where does that stand as at now? How is electronic banking system in the country? Have people embraced it? What I know you are not in it anymore. Just some what do you call it, estimated figures to what percentage of the population is using electronic banking in the country?
Okay. Right now, I'm not so sure of the statistics, but I know that it is at least almost half the population now of those that are banking are actually using electronic banking, because when we first started off rolling out the products, a lot of people were afraid of using electronic banking Because I remember one of the challenges I would have when marketing the services to clients in big organizations, they'll say, you mean at the click of the button, you mean all money can leave the account? And they were so scared. They're like, what if we are hacked? And they're like, so most of them were afraid of jumping on. Some of the big corporates you may think of today, I would deal with some of those, but they'll be afraid of actually just signing on to an electronic platform. But today, I think everyone needs those things, and it's like they all do it. As long as they have got electronic banking, then they are good to go.
Excellent, excellent. So you decided to leave the bank and ventured into, tell our listeners, those who are watching, how you transitioned from that to what you're doing now. What happened? What triggered that? Mangaliso. Okay. I think we lost him.
Yeah.
He probably received a call or something. Okay, interesting. We have a video to show of what he does, and like I said in my introduction, Roger, that he is somebody doing. Mangaliso, did you hear my question?
I decided to leave the.
No, we can't hear you. You are breaking up. We cannot hear you, Mangaliso. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know, the network kept dropping.
Okay, so what led you to share with us the transition from banking to what you are doing now?
The transition for.
Did you hear my question?
No, I didn't.
I said, could you share with us
what was the question?
How your transition from banking to what led you to what you're doing now? Oh, Mangaliso, do you have? I think there's somebody probably listening to the show in the same room as you are in the background. They have to turn it off. Okay, the idea, ladies and gentlemen, is for us to begin to highlight and push for entrepreneurship in the country. So small business owners, like you can see, Mangaliso considers himself as a rural entrepreneur, and that's what caught my attention, Roger. I wanted to.
Oh yeah, that caught my attention straight away. You know that. the two words combined, rural and entrepreneur.
I mean, he had a lucrative career going in IT with a bank.
Yeah.
And he decides to leave that and go and live in rural Zambia. It takes, that's nothing to do with a career or anything. God must be speaking to you for you to do that.
Definitely.
Because all the flyover bridges are in Lusaka, not in other places. He will come back and join us. Immediately he comes, we shall play the video clip that shows how but I want him to explain that transition from banking to what he is doing now. It's very important. Some of us may need to start taking those decisions, and and they do some of those things, or finance, or help some people to get those things going. It's very, very important. Hello, Mangaliso. Can you hear me?
Am I more clear now?
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, I said share with us the transition from you leaving the bank to what led you into what you're doing now.
Okay, I don't think this is going to work. Just start typing the questions. Today will take our time. I'm not ready to. Ms. J, ask Brother Mangaliso to call the WhatsApp number. You have the number? Ask him to call the WhatsApp number. I think we have lost almost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We can't keep on doing this.
No.
So start typing as possible, and then we will just connect him via
WhatsApp. Eh?
Yeah, via WhatsApp.
Let's do this. Let's play the video clip, and then you can pick it up from there and take some notes of what he's saying in the video clip.
Right. Well, let's join. Let him join, and then we can watch.
Okay. Yeah. So he's gonna call on WhatsApp. Maybe with our colleagues in Zambia, since we seem to be having these challenges, that's probably the route we shall take.
Yeah, until we solve the communication with the studio where they can hear us. That's what we are figuring out. So just ask him to call WhatsApp number, and we'll connect him to the studio. Let's not lose this opportunity for. Okay, there he comes.
Okay, Mangaliso, are you there?
Let's see.
Or is coding using WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Brother Mangaliso. I can't hear him. Can you hear me? Okay, I know the problem. Just give me one second.
No problem.
One of those days.
I know.
Just talk to our.
I know. Yes, everybody. So if you have, somebody who's doing a business, especially in rural Zambia, please connect them to me, and I can feature them on the show. The idea is not just to highlight what they're doing, but to sort of help them, what's the word? Get them connected, networking, connected, probably see if we can get some funding to boost that business. What drives the economies of these so-called developed countries are the small businesses in between the line. The multinational corporations have their place in the economy, but if you get the small business owners going, then Aika Suluga, you need to get ready. I shall be having you on shortly here.
Can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, Mangaliso.
Hi.
Wonderful. Yes, I can hear you. You're on WhatsApp now, right?
Yeah, I'm using WhatsApp.
But you can't hear me, right?
Yeah. No. Can you hear Nathan?
Can you hear me, Mangaliso?
Okay, you can't hear.
No, he can't.
Nathan, yeah, the question he ended up was, I don't know if it's going to seem weird to have me on two screens, but Nathan calls me, I work for CIA or something. Mangaliso, tell us what made you switch from a lucrative career in the bank to what you are doing today.
Okay, Right. One thing that I learned whilst I was working in the bank is that the bank exposed me to a lot of different people and business people that were making it in the country. But with the exposure that I had, it was easy for me to find out exactly how most of these people were making their money, because most of them looked like simple people and the like. So after a thorough investigation, I discovered that the people that were making it had actually took a leap of let me call it a leap of faith into a leap of faith into the entrepreneurship business, and they started to work around it, and they managed to grow their income. So as much as it would happen, there'll be funny situations whereby I would go to meet a certain client and I would remember their business from when I was quite young, and I would know how far they've reached. And based on that, I began to say, okay, I think there's opportunity in the entrepreneurship space, provided you actually go at it in the right way. And as a result of that, I decided to actually figure out what I really wanted to do in the entrepreneurship space, and I jumped into it.
In the bank, Mangaliso, where were you working? Were you in Lusaka, or where were you?
I was working in Lusaka. I was working in Lusaka at head office. Yeah.
And how long has it been since you moved? You went to Chipata.
Chipata, I opened my business in Chipata in 2016, 17. So I've been operating from there for since then. But then my official permanent move happened last year. But then I would run my business remotely at a particular stage until I got to a point whereby I physically moved in, which was sometime last year.
Wonderful. I'm waiting. Nathan will be posting some more questions, and I'll be sharing. So we are going to see. You're not going to see it, but we are going to see the video which you have made, and then we'll discuss from there.
Okay. How are you guys doing? My name is Mangaliso Chihana. I'm from Lundazi, Lumezi district of Eastern Province, and I'm the CEO and founder of Uchile Investments Limited. We're an organization that deals in grain commodity trade, food processing, and agribusiness services. So I'll take you on a tour around Uchile Investments, and you're going to see what we do. Please come with me. Our main key area of focus is actually in value addition, where food is concerned. So we get sunflower and make cooking oil out of it. We get the byproducts of the sunflower and we make animal feed with it. And at the same time, we also do an outgrower program whereby we help the communities around. We sign up farmers from the rural communities that actually do farming on our behalf. Then we buy the seed from them or the grain from them. We also do animal feeds, that is the sunflower cake. And we also do crushing services for people around. So we're actually here and we're very excited to be part of what is happening in the new district of Eastern Province. We like working with people that are into agribusiness services. We love working with people that are into agriculture. And we also love to see to it that agribusiness is the way people are making their lifestyle happen. One thing we came to realize that in Eastern Province, there's a lot of people that know how to farm, but the funding and actually the finance to actually do farming is what hinders them from progressing. So with the few people that we've identified, we're able to actually help them with a few bags of seed. Then as a result of that, they'll plant seed and then they'll resell to us. They'll definitely keep some for themselves and also sell some of it to us. And also as Uchile Investments, our aim is to ensure that Zambia is lifted in the area of food processing and agribusiness services. We really look forward to actually touching as many corners of Zambia as we can.
Oh, wow. What an inspiring a joint you have, Mangaliso, in Lundazi or Chipata?
Lumezi.
That's in Lundazi. Lumezi actually is just a new district before Lundazi. Yeah.
Yeah. Me, I'm usually not a person who runs out of words. I've run out of words here. So I'm so inspired. You know, things like this, they just inspire me. Tell us the foundation. Tell us the foundation, Mangaliso, about the startup. Usually, how I mean, I like the first punch you told us was the leap of faith. Whether no money, with money or no money, that's the way I see it. You started. Tell us.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, so this is the funny part. So, most of the people that I dealt with as my clients were actually, that's all coming back from the banking sector. I discovered the ones that moved me the most were people that I remember the time I took it. A tour or a holiday, and I stayed in Eastern Province in the village. I went to my grandpa's in the village. Then later on stayed around the towns and everything else, and also did part of my high school in Eastern Province. So the most thing, the thing that I realized was that most of the, especially the Asian community that was staying in Eastern Province at the time, I saw them start from scratch, to a point whereby, as I was addressing some of the clients in the banking sector, I discovered that some of those are people that had seen rise from very small businesses in Eastern Province to actually be at a multinational level, whereby some businesses were actually operating in Zambia, Rwanda, Uganda. You find others were operating. And I could remember, I was like, I remember this shop where I started from. This was one of those I used to see when I was in high school in Eastern Province and the like. So I discovered that a lot of the Asian community, especially that started their businesses in Eastern Province, were actually one of the people that big banks were competing to get into their to get their accounts from. So as a result of that, I started questioning myself, like, if I've seen people rise from the rural most part of the country to actually be the biggest players in the Zambian economy right now, most of them were dealing in millions of dollars worth of transactions. And just based on that, I began to say, no, there's something wrong. Then if people can rise from the rural community and make it in the big places, then there's something that we have not seen, because most of our kind of people would actually run away from the rural communities and come to the urban cities, urban communities, to try and really make it and the like. But as a result of that, I began to say, okay, let me just go and do a search. So I decided to go back to Eastern Province, and I began to retrace certain steps and see what certain people were doing. And then, as a result of moving and seeing certain things, I decided to say, okay, what is it that I can actually do from here that would make us big as well eventually? So after searching, I discovered that for me, I decided to say, okay, I'm going to settle in the agribusiness field. And with the agribusiness field, the reasons that I decided to do that was because farming is one of almost, you can almost say, it's the only means of survival for most people in rural communities, because most of them are unemployed. Most of them do not are not exposed to the city life and the like. So I said, all right, so since most of these farmers do what they do and their produce is readily available, the question is, how do I get into their system and actually begin to add value on the things that they produce? So that's how I ended up now identifying, so, okay, I'm going to pursue the oil business, because I realized that the raw materials for making oil, cooking oil, were actually there, but most of them would sell those things in their raw form without adding value to them. So I said, okay, let me see how can I process this. So that's how we began to actually invest into processing. Of course, the hectic part was actually finding the machinery, finding the location and the like. So that was the hectic part. So the reason why I went into the rural is because I realized that the rural had a lot of raw potential. To put it in simpler terms, I remember there's a certain man actually who gave me the idea. This man came from the US to work in Zambia. He was actually not even Zambian, he was an American guy. And when he was in Lusaka working, he said he was so happy to work in Zambia. He was like, I really love working in Zambia because to me, it feels like I've time traveled to the past to implement the future, which I've seen and I've come to implement it here in the past. So based on that, I realized that if a place is undeveloped, opportunity to actually add value if you've been exposed is easier if you go back there and start trying to do something there. That was the main reason I went to the role.
So instead of, in short, you are saying, instead of fighting for the small, I don't know if it's a small pie in Lusaka, there is a vast areas of opportunity outside Lusaka.
Actually, there is, especially if you have depending on the kind of thing business you want to pursue. I think the opportunity to travel to rural settings or places that have not yet developed is actually a very good opportunity, especially if you are exposed and you have a plan of exactly what you want to do that side.
Yeah. Wonderful. A lot of people are asking about your seed money, your seed here. How did you do this? Was it a loan from the bank, or did you save up some money? Did you pull sisters around the world for some help? What did you do?
So this is how I did it. For me, I know most people say you have to, the best way is you start working. After you start working, you are going to actually save up and make money. So when I started working, for me, my aim was to actually make money, save up money, and go and start my business or whatever it is that I would eventually move in. But funny enough, every time I tried to save, I failed. I think for me, that's formula, I failed. Every time I would have money, it would still go. So I kept asking myself the question, when am I going to save up?
You are not alone.
Because others say,
not...
I was like, no. Yeah, I was like, no, I don't think I'll be able to manage this. For what I decided to do, I was like, all right, quite all right. I prepared myself and said, okay, by the month of, I gave myself 3 months, saying, okay, by the month of, I think that was August, by the time, I said, by that month, I should actually quit my job. And as a result, I started planning. I knew that my last salary is what I would invest in. So I handed in my resignation letter. And after handing it in, I was actually just shy to say I'm going to start interview. I just said, no, I'm going to work for another organization. But the truth was that I was actually going back home.
Yeah.
And after that, I remember after resigning, I did not tell not even a single family member or anyone close to my family that I resigned. Because I knew that
because
usually
they were going to hack you. They were going to hack you.
Exactly.
How can you do such a foolish thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I did that and I decided to resign. And quietly, I think my family only discovered that after a month or so, because I think 1 or 2 of my sisters tried to come and see me at the bank, and they said, no, Mangaliso was left. I think this is the neighboring bank. I think maybe he's Kancha to but I know he's somewhere there. That's when my other sister also tried to find out where I was. They all discovered that actually the truth that this man had been stopped. And they were like, what? Yeah, but then I'd already made the decision and I was out there. But the truth is that I never had capital to buy my equipment or my machinery for what I wanted to study.
That is a leap of faith. That's what I call a leap of faith right there. You know,
exactly.
you just go and then things start to work out. When you first started Mangaliso, maybe you can tell us in terms of production, whatever you are doing. How many liters of oil were you producing? Was it 5 years ago? And where are you today?
Okay, when we started off, it was more of a trial and error. We knew what we were trying to do, but then it was more of a trial and error. We were learning. It's not like I had somebody who mentored me in that field. It was an organization that I worked with. So from the beginning, it was more of let me try this. So we see the machines working and everything else happening, and would get excited. But then, unfortunately, that was not translating into profitability or proper numbers. At first, I think the problem is that I've managed to achieve this, so I was just excited. And then until as the time was going on, I realized that, okay, no, now, how do I really convert this into a business? because I think mostly as entrepreneurs we get mistaken between passion and business, and most of entrepreneurs die as a result of putting passion and not thinking in a business minded way. So at first I had passion, but I never had the business mind to properly run it. So afterwards, after I saw that the things were not right, I began to now put a proper strategic plan on how we can grow our business. And from there, I realized, okay, I would need to get maybe somebody who's an expert in a particular thing, in a particular field, to reduce costs and the like. So when we started, our capacity used to be like we do maybe 200 liters of oil and the like. But now our crushing capacity today is actually 10,000 liters in a day.
Wow.
I mean, 1,000 liters a day, about then 10,000 liters in a month.
1,000 from 200 to 1,000 liters a month. This is
1,000. Yeah, 1,000 liters a day. As at now, it's 1,000 liters in a day in terms of crushing capacity. Whoa. Before it used to be like 200 liters in a day, but now we can do 1,000 liters in a day. And provided the raw materials are available, we can actually do between 10 to 15,000 liters in a month.
And how available are the raw materials? It's mainly, is it peanuts or sunflower?
So for us, we decided to go the route of the sunflower way. And the reason why we decided to go with the sunflower is simply because it's much less of a headache to process compared to other seeds. When it comes to availability, the major issue with availability is that you need enough seed capital at the beginning of the year to actually buy enough of your raw materials. So if you miss the period from April to especially June, July, it becomes difficult for you to have stock. But then at the same time, at me being a small scale enterprise, I'm competing with organizations that are big in terms of their budget and their spending power. So you find that the period where our organization may have very little money, these guys have got huge spending power. So they buy most of the raw materials. And you find that as SMEs, you find that there's a level you would go to, but then you can't break because you don't have enough seed capital for that. So what we end up with the strategy we ended up coming up with is we started an outgrower scheme, whereby we have a few farmers that grow sunflower on our behalf. Then we either buy it from them, or if not buying from them, we agree depending on what kind of contract we do with them, whereby they'll grow it for us. Then they'll just give us a certain, because they don't have money to buy the seed, they'll give us part of the harvest, and they get to keep part of the harvest. So it's easier for them because they don't spend anything on buying the seed and the like. So it depends on the arrangement that we make. So at least that sustains us. But we still we're still not able to produce all year round because we still need to grow our financial capacity to actually be able to produce all year round.
Okay, let's talk about that. You are not able to do this. I think it will fall under. I'm going to have two challenges, two segments. The challenges, number one, and the opportunities. Share with us some of the challenges you think you are facing. There may not necessarily be challenges, but as you go, I'm sure you are hitting one by one. What are some of the challenges? Me seated in Canada here, I should be thinking about as I think of moving to Kasempa.
Okay, So challenges are always there, and some of the challenges that you find you face are definitely faithfulness or from the farmers. For example, if you try to do the same outgrower kind of, you give them seed, but when the harvest time comes, if you're not careful, you find that they've sold your seed to somebody, your harvest to somebody else who had money, and then you lose out. Also, you find that also the network, in terms of if you're operating in rural communities like Lumens, where we are based, you discover that transportation is an issue because the road network is a very portable road network. So you have to understand that there's transportation costs, and also there's a lot of wear and tear on the transport that you're using.
Yeah.
So you find that for you to go into the villages, you have the car you use and everything else. So actually, eventually, you will need to be serviced every now and then, or there will be a lot of breakdowns. So you find that there's transportation. Then also, I also realized that there's also a lot of cultural influence. If you don't understand culture, especially if you're working in rural communities, it becomes difficult, even though you may try to do things from a business perspective alone, but people want to mix culture and business. So you find that you are looking at it from one side. Exactly. But when we can this money is for that. But now because at times they sell it when they are still hungry. It's kind of that now when they have the thing, they think if they feel like, but it's like they've already eaten. I'm supposed to eat from this other harvest that has come. So you find that there are those challenges there. So there's those cultural challenges that are involved also. So when you and also so for example, one of the biggest challenges that when starting up, what I said was that because me coming from an urban area and going to do business in a rural community, when I managed to raise money to buy a building where we're going to set up the same one in the video, the place where we're crashing the oil from. So after I bought that building and put the machine there, what the thing is that most people believe that you cannot put a machine like that inside the building because they think it's in a house. So you find that customers will come there and they're like, but why do you put things in a machine in a house? So they start thinking that there's something that's suspicious for you to be operating machinery inside the house when they think it's supposed to be outside. So there was all those things. No, people are afraid of entering. They think they're entering a house and not a factory. So there was all those kind of cultural things I had to actually work around until people began to understand. Actually, there are people who can get the building just put in the machine. And so there was all those things before. Then so you have to talk about both.
Yeah, but now you are talking to because our time, I'm jealous, even our time is gone. You are talking to a number of people living in the diaspora, those in Zambia. Tell us the opportunity part of it. Can I come and start a small farm with you around? I supply to you. What is there? Yeah. What is there? Yeah, share with us.
Okay, great. So opportunity around things. So the truth is that opportunity to invest in the rural sectors of Zambia are wide. They are so vast. The only tricky part is what kind of product or what kind of service you want to put in a rural setup. If you are trying to, if you might come with something that is a luxury to the rural setup, but you discover that you see value in what you carry, but then if the person in the rural community sees that thing does not bring bread or butter to their table, or theirs as it may be, they feel like it's a waste of time. A good example, a long time ago, I know, now it has changed because of the mindset, but I know a few years ago in Eastern Province, a good example is Hungary when I decided to open up an outlet in Eastern Province. But then the time they did, because that was a while back, the time they opened up Hungary in Eastern Province was a time when most people had their own farms, their own chickens and the like. So what happens that when they go into Hungary and they want to buy, they ask the price of chicken and chips, the price they are telling them, they figure that that's a whole chicken back at the village. They will be like, I've got chickens at home, I'm going to eat. So why should I buy all this? Eventually, a company as strong as Hungary had to fold in Eastern Province. It's just now that the people have actually opened up their minds and everything, especially with Sparta becoming a city, Lundazi and this, but okay, this is growing. You discover that now there are people that have been sent from different towns working there under government. So you find that the mindsets of certain people have changed in some rural communities now. But at the time for Hungary to have set up, it was not the correct time because people were growing, had their own chickens in the backyard. As much as they were village chickens, they could not believe that a piece of chicken would go for the same price as a whole chicken.
Yeah.
So as you are coming to set up in the rural, you have to understand the kind of people you are targeting.
Yeah.
what kind of people. So you discover that for these people, most of them, the thing is that they can do raw process, they can grow raw things, but then the headache they have is they do not know how to process what they grow. They do not have the knowledge and the ability. So I would advise that if anyone wants to invest in the rural community in Zambia, you have to invest in a way that is, especially at the value addition stage. If you do it at the value addition stage, it becomes easy because you're catering for both the country in terms of market and also the offering a service that these people do not have access in the rural setup. That would be the best way to go about it. Otherwise, if you still want to, you can still be like a farmer and do your farming and the like, but your difference will just be maybe that you have more money than them to have more food done. But then at the end of the day, you still end up ordinary in terms of you still get your crop and sell your crop, and that's the end of it. But for example, like for us, from at Uchile Investments, from one product, for example, the cooking oil, we're able to, from sunflower oil, we're able to make cooking oil from it. We're also making animal feed from it, and the other thing that we're doing is we're making soap from it. But then, if you look at there's a lot of things you can process out of oil. As long as you have the right mindset. So it's all about understanding what kind of product or service you want to put in that role.
And finally, the market, since you are quite a distance away from, I don't know, the nearest big market, is it Lusaka as always? How is your market for your product?
Actually, the market is actually quite wide, is high, because usually anything to do with food has got a wide reach. So you find that for us, as we are processing, there's always there's a challenge of actually meeting the bigger markets. For example, Lusaka is the biggest market, but then for us to bring to Lusaka, we discover that the cost of transporting our product from where we are to Lusaka is high to the point whereby the product that we do might not be the same price. For example, one of the major things that moved the news items about our product was the price, because our price was very good when it comes to cooking oil compared to other people that were stocking. But then the challenge was that now people would expect the same product that is being manufactured in Eastern Province to arrive in Chipata at the same price as it's being sold that side. But then for us, logistic-wise, you find that the cost would be higher. But then the market is there. So it's all about now working around what kind of volumes you need to produce first for you to actually penetrate Lusaka. So if the volumes are right, it becomes easier for you to actually bring here and actually do the, So for us, it's mainly a volumes game.
So in short, your market is mostly Eastern Province?
Actually, the market is actually Lusaka as well. We've had some consignments that we have sent, but even within Eastern Province, our products are able to move.
Right.
There's demand there. But Lusaka has got the biggest demand because of the population.
Okay. Sorry, the technology failed us. We could have done a good job. I think you still owe us another. So we can begin from A to Katuishuko. One of the things we are working on is to find, I don't know what they call it in Zambia, apprentice programs, Mangaliso, where we assign a few youths to your company who are sponsored by us, and then you train them, and then they are paid. So I am definitely very interested to discussing more with you.
Okay, great. I look forward to it. I'm actually very excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Nathan, unfortunately, again, you could not talk to your guests.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out this technology.
We have to figure out this technology thing.
Yeah, one day to work.
What is going on?
Yeah.
But can you hear me? Mangaliso has done a good job. And like we said at the beginning of the show, the idea is...
I'm sure you can't hear you. You can hear Nathan talking?
Let me switch to 10 on. I can see, but let me just switch on the thing. Now I can, yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah, there will be a delay because it is setting it to a thing. But go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What I wanted to say is the idea or the objective of us doing these shows, like I said, Roger, what we're going to do is feature more people like Mangaliso, so that you see the new dawn, the change of mindset. We need to realize, like I said, the big corporations have their place in their economy. If we can boost and push and fund, finance, partner, find more people like Mangaliso in our economy and push them, especially in rural areas, the economy is going to be transformed and we're going to create more employment.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, all the best, Mangaliso. I know you are pushing 1,000 liters per day. I'm sure your goal is somewhere in the 10,000 range. Very, very soon it will happen. You only don't take things as a, what did you say, a leap of faith, but you actually act. You actually do it. And that's a very, very encouraging aspect. A lot of us have got these dreams. They come and go, and we do nothing. Thank you so much, Mangaliso.
Oh, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm glad I was on the platform.
Good. Yeah, and we'll get in touch with you.
Yes,
that was Mangaliso Chihana in Lundazi. It's always exciting, Nathan, when we talk to people away from Lusaka. Over to you, Nathan.
All right, everybody. That was our show today. I'm sure whatever direction or whatever has transpired here, you have learned something or taken something from our discussion with Mangaliso. We'll figure out this technology thing. When you use StreamYard, you need the Wi-Fi stuff becomes a little bit, but it will work out. So we're gonna do a series of these shows, Roger, like I said, okay? If you know somebody who is a rural entrepreneur, get in touch with me. Shall bring them on the show, connect them, get partnerships, funding, and all those things. I like forget Bali will fix it. Okay, we're gonna help Bali fix it.
I like that.
That's the new phrase.
I like
this thing of saying Bali will fix it. He can't fix everything.
No,
Only God can fix
Bali has fixed one thing. Lungu is gone. The rest is now us.
Yeah, now it's on us. So let's try to find a way to fix this thing. Like you heard, it's about the economy. We need to fix the economy. That's how our livelihood is going to change. That's how, what do you call it? That's how our standard of living is going to change. That's how the cost of living is going to go down. That's how employment will be created. That's how things will change. Okay? We need to identify more Mangalisos and then push the economy. All right. Like I said, next week, we'll find another guest, Roger. And congratulations again to our winners of the Professor Lumumba speaking engagement. Those were the two winners for the tickets. Those of you who are in entrepreneurship, you might just end up winning 10,000 kwacha. We inject it into your business. So keep listening to Zambia Blog Talk Radio. We shall all drop here and reconnect again as we go to open forum, like I say, where we throw grenades and everything else. All right, everybody, we'll see you next weekend. Let's connect again. We'll still continue our show on another segment.